So you can see this little line that goes around in a radial arc with the rim all the way around, just to the inside. That guy right there. So that line that goes around this rim is actually from this piece of nylon that we use to measure rim runout. And this piece of nylon is softer than the piece of aluminum. But when this nylon goes up against the rim, it leaves a faint mark. And we had a customer complain to us about those marks because he's like, you marked up my wheels. And while, yes, they did get marked up, the first thing you're going to do to a pair of billet wheels when you get them out of your box is you're going to polish them. And I'm going to show you how much oxidization has already happened on this rim. And this rim is out of the box like 2 days ago. Billet wheels look great. They're very blingy. They're very shiny. But they require uncountable hours of maintenance and polishing and elbow grease. I don't personally like billet wheels. They're too much work for me. I think they look great. They're great on show cars, but I live in Ohio. I don't want this on my car. I think they're beautiful. If it's in a car that's trailered everywhere and never sees the elements, I'd think about it. But even then, you're going to be spending hours upon hours polishing. Now, there's some surface imperfections. I mean, this rim is out of the box. We mounted it up, and there's actually shelf damage right on the front face on both sides. I'm going to just address the nylon mark that was put on this by our balancer, and it polishes right off with really no problems at all. I am going to run one of the mother's polish balls across this after I clean it. You know, I mean, if you want to know how to polish aluminum wheels, there's plenty of bits on YouTube to learn how to do it. Everybody does it a little bit differently. Basically, you wash the rim to make sure it's clean, which I'll do here in a minute. And then you polish it with compound, and then you polish it with more compound, and then you polish it with more compound. And when I'm done with this, it'll still be pulling black oxidation off onto my rag, because all I'm doing is cleaning up a nylon transfer mark. But even just with the little bit that I do to this wheel, even though it looks great right now, it will look unbelievably better just with the little bit that I do. So you can imagine how many hours people put into these things to really just make them pop and look just completely spectacular. So I'm going to grab some water. I'm going to wipe the wheel down with a clean, brand new microfiber towel. I never use any used towels or used rags or anything on wheels like this, because if they pick up a piece of dirt, you're going to put a gouge into the wheel, which makes for even more time polishing. I luckily have this handy wheel holder, which makes it a lot easier for me to balance stuff. You can jack your car up, that way you can spin the wheel and the wheel won't go anywhere while you're polishing. So I'm going to grab some tools and wash this off real quick. Now all this is water with some soap in it. Some dish soap and water. Which will help me get my grease and my finger smudges off, so I know what I'm working with. And again, this is a brand new towel, and then after using it for cleaning aluminum rims, it will get used for an oil rag, but it'll never touch a polished aluminum rim or nicely polished paint ever in its life. Because as soon as it picks up dirt, it's going to create more damage. So that's pretty clean for what I'm going to be working on today. Now I still have my little radial marks from my nylon roller. So I'm going to hit this outside of the barrel with the polishing ball because it works really quick. And that's another thing you want to make sure you don't get dirt into. So whenever I set this thing down, I set it down in its case, and then when I clean it out, let it dry, and I put it back in the case so that it doesn't pick up any dirt or anything. And they don't last forever. I mean, they wear out, but you got to keep the stones and garbage out of them. Otherwise, you're just making more work for yourself. So I'm going to wet this down and grab my polish. Now I have my yellow shoulder pads. So I'm going to wet this down. Oh, I need my battery. My battery go. I'm not prepared. That'll work better. And you'll notice I'm wearing gloves while I'm polishing aluminum. It's because the stuff is not good for you. So I'm going to take a little polish. Not that much polish. Actually, if I was smart, I would just use my applicator pad. I'm going to take my applicator pad, which I just dropped in the dirt. So now I'm going to throw that in the trash. I'm not going to drop my finger in the dirt, so I'll use my finger. And then it's time to polish. This is my cleaning rag, which I'm just going to use to wipe off the wheel. And with wheels like this, you don't even want water to rest on them, because if water droplets dry on them, they will leave stains, and then you'll be polishing them again. So, just that little bit of polishing actually did quite a bit. Where'd my flashlight go? So I still have some micro scuffs, surface scuffs. And I didn't get into my nylon mark. So I will try and get that with by hand. So we will get back to the grunt work. Now you would think that wheel's clean after me polishing it. So I used this on the wheel I polished right before this, and you can see it got dirty pretty quick. And what you're going to see is the same thing here. It's still oxidized. That does still have a mark in it. Still don't know how a nylon roller will put a mark in an aluminum wheel, but we'll have to figure that out. Yeah, my mark's getting better. It'll polish out, it's just going to take time. Right out of the box, they need polished. They probably need like waxed right out of the box before you even put the tires on. That's what I would do. If I was spending $600 per wheel, I would pull them out of the box and I would have them completely polished to my satisfaction before I dropped it off to the tire shop. And then I would have to polish it again, because no matter what, there's going to be surface imperfections just from handling. The aluminum is so soft, there's not really anything you can do it unless you don't touch the wheel, and that's kind of hard to do. I mean, our equipment's about as touchless as you can get.
It's all nylon.
And it's all nylon, so it worked pretty good. We get it fixed up. It's looking good. It's funny. I mean, I can take a rag to it right now and it'll still come up black. It's not even close to being clean yet. This is like really shiny, and it's still hazy. It's not even close to being fully polished. Right here. So I'm about to make this a lot better, or I'm going to make it a whole lot worse. Thank you, sir. We'll get back to this tomorrow. Will I or will I not completely destroy this rim?
So I polished on this thing by hand for about an hour last night, and I still had not cut through all of the oxidation. So I got out the big gun. This is a polishing pad with a cotton pad on it. And I'm just continuing to go over the wheel until I no longer get black oxidation on my rag. And I just went over the whole thing. And I'll clean it off real quick. Once again, making sure I don't get any dirt into my pad. The most important thing you can do is keep your stuff you're using clean and dirt free. And I need a place to set this. Now that I got one all polished up, you're gonna have to do the other three. And then repeat. I wonder what the street value of that is right now during the COVID pandemic. Dude, I got the good stuff. So this is another wheel off of a different customer's hot rod. I actually polished this wheel up several years ago, and I had it in, I pulled it off out of his garage and brought it in because the tire had gone flat, and we pulled the tire off the wheel, cleaned it up. So I decided, I'm like, well shoot, I have the wheel here, I might as well hit it with the polisher. And it polished right up really quick. So having the compound on this wheel protected it. Your wheel's raw. You saw how much polishing it took on the last wheel before I wasn't getting any black residue. And this one polished up with the Powerball, with this guy. And I polished him up in 5-10 minutes. So once you get that initial buff up on your wheels, it's a lot easier to maintain the buff. So it's super important that if you get billet uncoated raw aluminum wheels, to put a good polish on them right off the bat. It will save you a lot of time and keep your car looking great for many years to come. But you will need to polish these wheels at least 2 to 3 times a year. This wheel actually lives a blessed life. This vehicle is stored in a climate controlled garage here in Ohio, so it doesn't see the heat and cold shifts. The humidity here in Ohio is really bad, and it causes oxidation on these aluminum wheels really fast. But that's our little bit on polishing aluminum wheels. It's amazing how much of a luster you can get out of these. Make them shine and sparkle out in the sunlight. So yeah, that's our bit on polishing aluminum wheels. It's not fun, but you got to do it. Like, subscribe, leave us a comment. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.